right, this next set of vocabulary, these are some other medical issues you might experience. First, we're going to talk about bones. So it's a bent V, hand shape crossed over your chest, bones, and that could also be skeleton depending on the context. But then you could talk about a bone is broken. Broken. That's actually a classifier showing how the bone should look, and then it's broken. So you could say, like, I broke my arm, right? My leg is broken. So it's not broken like a pencil, right? It's a different kind, we sign it differently, broken. Then you might have a twisted joint, like maybe you twisted your ankle or your knee. So think about what a bone looks like, right? And it has, the way it kind of gets bigger at the end. So think about like your knee, and then it bends this way. So if you have a joint that's twisted, it does that. So my knee is twisted, or my ankle, I twisted it, okay? So again, that's a classifier showing how that sprain or that twisting looks. Next is infection. It's an eye that shakes back and forth. So you might have an ear infection, you might have an eye infection, right? You might have a sinus infection. Next is asthma. So it's A, hand shapes on your chest, and then it shows like that labored breathing. Next is allergies. So this is the sign for like opposite. That's an enemy. So it's almost like allergies are the enemy of your nose. That's how I remember it. I don't know if that's actually where the sign comes from. That's my way to remember it. Allergies. Next is contagious. So a lot of times you'll see sickness spread or contagious. Like you're touching lots, you're in contact with lots of people, but usually it's this way. Heart attack. So if this is heart, like Valentine's Day, romance kind of stuff, but a lot of times when you're talking about your physical heart that pumps blood through your body, you just use that feeling hand shape to tap on it. So heart attack, heart attack. Stroke is similar. It's almost like a brain attack. Stroke, so in case you don't know, a stroke is when there's a problem with the circulation of blood through your brain. And so part of your brain, either it gets, the artery gets clogged, and so part of your brain no longer gets the blood flow that it needs, or sometimes there's a little blockage in there and that suddenly breaks loose, and then you have too much blood in your brain. There's all sorts of things that can cause a stroke and all sorts of results from a stroke depending on where it happens in your brain, but that's the sign, stroke. Seizure. So this is, sometimes you'll kind of see that for like, oh, I couldn't sleep, I was tossing and turning. But if it's really moving a lot, that's a classifier. So instead of somebody laying down, now their legs are kind of bent up and they're moving around. It's kind of, I know it's kind of a graphic sign, but watching somebody have a seizure is often, you know, a traumatizing experience. It's hard to have, it's hard to watch. So that's why that sign looks the way it does. Diabetes has two signs. So sometimes you'll see sugar or like sweet, and then D shaking back and forth, because diabetes is about your ability to process sugar. Your pancreas is here kind of in your back behind your kidneys and stuff like that. Its job is to make insulin to regulate how much sugar you have in your diet. So if you eat a whole bunch of sweet stuff, your pancreas goes, oh, hey, too much sugar, let's make some insulin. But if you're diabetic, your pancreas doesn't work correctly and cannot make sufficient insulin to cancel out your sugar. So you need to eat less sugar and then take insulin to balance out the sugar that you have to eat, because that's energy for surviving. So even just a little bit of carbs produces sugar. So that's what diabetes. So it's sugar. And it's a D that shapes back and forth, but it also kind of looks like sugar. I have also seen people sign sugar sick. So that's another way to sign it. And the last thing we're going to learn in this set is cancer. So again, I know a lot of people get uncomfortable with this sign because it looks like it's kind of eating away at you, but that's what cancer does. So you can talk about breast cancer or brain cancer or skin cancer. And how we can't go on without learning this sign. COVID-19 has a sign, so it's coronavirus. Coronavirus.